Greetings, everyone. Hi, how's it going? Twitch is giving me a problem saying that my title is too long or something crazy like that. So I gotta edit it really quick before they'll play it. So let me see if that works. Uh, let's see. Tanya, Shalami, who else is on here? Hey, right on, right on. Cool, cool. Uh, what the hell? Description. Oh my gosh. All right, give me a second. This foolishness. Let's see. This is wild. Okay, so all right. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna have to unlive this. This is wild. All right. Okay. I mean, it looks like broadcast. Just looks like Twitch is gonna have to be out today. I don't know what the fuck that is, but anyway. Oh, thank you, Shalami. I love it. This is my first time wearing it, and I've had it for forever. Uh, let's see. Hey, everybody tuning in from Twitch. Mon Amy, Letitia, Helen. Okay, so I'm getting started a little late today because at the last minute I changed what I was going to talk to you guys about today because this is me trying to be disciplined about where I'm giving my energy today. So I changed the original headline, which was Stop Calling Black Justice Violence. So we're going to table that discussion for tomorrow. Okay. Hence the change of the name to today, which is what? Happy Female Orgasm Day. Happy National Female Orgasm Day and 8/8 Lionsgate Portal. That's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I think, because what I was saying is, I'm going to reserve finishing The Alchemist until after I get back from Joshua Tree this week. I leave for Joshua Tree in 2 days. I come back on Monday. So I will pick up reading The Alchemist then. Um, so today I want to talk about powering up. You understand? I want to talk about powering up. I want y'all to talk to me too. So I want y'all to ask me questions, tell me stories. Um, and did you have an orgasm today? Do not let 11:59 p.m. roll around and y'all have not had an orgasm today. Women, uterus holding humans. You understand? Um, don't do that. This is a powerful, powerful day, and I done put y'all on game. You feel me? Most folks didn't know today was National Female Orgasm Day. Or is it international? I think it's international. International Female Orgasm Day. Because National Orgasm Day was actually July 31st. And yeah, and so these women got together in like 1981 or something like that. It was like, we need to have a day that's just our own. So the 8/8 portal, which is, I'm sure, purposeful, is female is Female Orgasm Day, which is quite important. And so please, I don't care what you got to do, child. Like me, I am on sabbatical right now. As a matter of, child, I didn't even think about it. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, I think tomorrow, is it today or tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. Tomorrow marks the 1 year anniversary since I stopped having sex. Yeah, dude. Tomorrow, I believe it's tomorrow. Tomorrow will be 1 year since I have had sexual intercourse with another human being. And that's purposeful. I did that deliberately. And in the few weeks, let's see, I found out about International Female Orgasm Day, maybe in like May-ish. Because, I've been thinking about sex. I'm like, shit, the day is coming up. I said I was going to give myself 1 year to detox from the bullshit sexual encounters that I've had here in LA. And so I was preparing. Come May, I was like, all right, so am I gonna go out here looking for somebody to have sex with? Am I just going to allow myself to be open to be pursued? Like, what's it gonna be? And so since May, and that's when I found out that Female Orgasm Day was coming up. And I was like, well, isn't this ironic that it is right around the time that I stopped having sex, at least with other humans? You understand? And so about 3 weeks ago, I made up my mind. Like, there hadn't been anything significant or substantial in the world that has happened that has caused me to change my mind about my current position. Truth be told, not nothing in a year. Not nothing said, not nothing done, not anyone approached me in a way that would sway me even a little bit about the current trajectory that I am on. I still was not going to let the 8-8 portal / Female Orgasm Day go off without a hitch, boo. That, just in general, because I masturbate daily. Just because I'm not having sex with other human beings doesn't mean that I'm not having regularly fulfilling, healthy, bountiful orgasms. Because I am and I do. You feel me? It would just be nice to be partnered in this wonderful, expression of my goddess power through the portal I was born with. You feel me? Anyway, I digress. So let's see some of these comments. Tanya says, thank you for the reminder. You most absolutely welcome. And I know it's late on y'all side of the country, so you better get to it. You feel me? Let's see. Song keeps popping in my head like Outkast, where he says orgasm. Today is also International Cat Day. Is that real? Is that true, Letitia? No, no pun intended, but it is intended. How funny. I'm writing that down. I did not know it, but thank you very much. Okay. National Cat Day. I'm here for it. Look at all the wonderful alignments. You feel me? Let's see. Cassandra, it'll be 4 years for me in October. Letitia says 4 years. You need an award for that. Letitia says it's a healing thing. No unworthy energy in this womb. I second that emotion. So anyway, I'll be honest. We did like a little mini series, if you will, a couple of weeks ago on the significance of menstrual blood and its magical uses and purposes. And it within the context of that, we talked about, I read a little bit from the Great Cosmic Mother, Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth. And in that book, the portion that I read was the part where she talks about the clitoris as a trigger organ for human evolution. And I'll be honest, there were some people that got mad, which I always preface everything that I say that way. I'm okay with people being in their feelings about anything that I say. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what it is. I don't get subdued. Really moved, swayed in any way by people's emotional responses or political positions. To each his own. That's what sovereignty is. To each his own. But I'm just telling you that I'm not out here some myopic human being making claims and staking claims based on just how I feel about some shit. I always attempt to come up on here. I'm gonna tell you in a minute, Oshalami, what they was mad about. But I'm always bring varying different pieces of information to the discussion. So I'm not just gonna make some blanket statement about the human clitoris being the trigger organ for human evolution without having different sources to cite talking about why this is an anthropological, biological, and historical position. You don't have to agree with the position. I'm just telling you what it is and why I don't have no problem believing it. Because even though I can talk about the science of a statement like that, the scientific, the biological, the historical, archaeological science behind a statement like that, and then how that perfectly matches with my position on goddess worship, on the goddess as the supreme being from which all others come. So my religious, if you will, spiritual philosophy and my belief about the significance of people born female because of their biology and their anatomy being the micro to the great cosmic macro, and that not being problematic for anybody else because all of you partake in, benefit from this relationship that you have to the goddess, you having the ability to be God and realize your own God self as a consequence of the gifts that the goddess gives you through this portal that allows you to go from one life to the next. You understand? So be mad. It's okay. I give grace. Feel me? I give grace for that. I give grace. So Shalami, of course, it's always about I always preface every damn statement I make. Somebody gonna be mad. Somebody out here gonna be mad. Don't I say that all the time? Some of y'all been rocking with me for 2 years. Y'all know that I say this shit all the time. Somebody gonna be mad. Ain't nothing I can do about that. You can agree or you can disagree. These are the options. That's all we got. You understand? And so someone disagreed, and that's okay. I give grace. But my position is unswayed. My position is unswayed. And I'm going to tell you why my position is unswayed. It does not diminish any other human being on earth. See, this whole hierarchical understanding that we have of the world and our relationships to one another is part of the problem. Even for me to say that I am God, right, is not an attempt to diminish the significance of any single solitary person living on the planet, because they too can realize their God self. It takes work. There's work they have to do that. You understand? When we talk about the matriarchy, when we talk about the reestablishing of the mother's domain on earth, we are talking about an integral, circular, relationship with others. We're not talking about some pyramidal top down, I'm the goddess, I'm a representative of the goddess, so I put my boot on your neck type shit. We gotta clear our consciousness of this kind of thinking. You understand? And so when I say that because of my peculiar relationship with creation, I can, without hesitation and with all confidence, say that I am certain that I am right where I'm supposed to be. I believe exactly how I'm supposed to for this moment. Because I have evolved and I've let y'all walk through my evolution regular. I come on here regularly and say, my position has changed. Somebody has won me to a position that I didn't have before. This is what evolution is about. That's why I call the temple of evolutionary emergence. Every single solitary day, we are new with radical new potential, and we have to be open to radically new ideas every motherfucking day. That's what we got to be ready for. That's what we have to be willing to accept. That the unnew, that the old, that the foundation still remains and can still be transformed. Still with the foundational element within itself. It is just become new. That's all. And so I walk y'all through that shit all the time. I don't hide nothing from y'all, but I should, but I don't. I tell y'all way too many personal stories about me. You understand? Some motherfuckers gonna try to use it against me in the future. That's all right. Everybody can go right back to my page and say, damn, she been blood raw from day one. Like, she ain't heard too much of shit from us from day one. You feel me? Because remember I said a couple months ago, sometimes I go back and listen to my shit and I'm like, oh, maybe I should pull this video. Like, maybe I should, you know what I'm saying? Wrangle this one off of here. And then I'm like, no, because I want to be exemplary of the potential that we all have to become new daily, to accept new daily, to still be, to still have integrity in terms of our truths and our beliefs, to honor not only our sovereignty, but every single person that we come into contact with, to demonstrate love, no matter who we are in proximity to, because we see God in them for real. Not some bullshit you say out your mouth, namaste, you know, bitch, you don't see God in me. Because ain't nothing in your behavior indicative that you see God in me. You understand? I'm just trying to tell you. That's why I don't rock with none of that bullshit. I need to know your life before I accept a namaste from you. Because you don't see God in me. All these motherfuckers rocking around talking about namaste and y'all lying. Y'all lying. And I ain't lying. I ain't lying. You feel me? When I say all you have to do is go back and watch every video I done for the last 3.5, 4 years. And some of the shit I ain't even posted. I ain't even posted the videos of my ass out in the motherfucking desert, get my ass handed to me by spirit. You feel me? I ain't even let y'all see some of the shit yet. One of these days I'm gonna post this shit. I got hundreds of hours of video. Y'all ain't even seen it yet. You feel me? Y'all be like, this motherfucker right here is crazy. Anyway, not trying to go off on a diatribe, but what I am trying to tell you is love is a very fickle word, and it shouldn't be. I love humanity. I love human beings. I do. I love them even when sometimes I might want to choke one out. You feel me? And I'm going to tell you why I can say that. Because I believe more than anything that if you don't take nothing else away from me ever in life, if I don't say another word publicly again, take this to the bank and cash it. I believe that we are all entitled to unwavering sovereignty in every relationship, in every partnership, in every way imaginable, from birth till we are reunited with the belly of Mother Earth, baby. I believe that shit. I believe it for everyone, even if I do not agree with, I don't know, like, I don't have to agree. I don't have to agree with what another motherfucker say sovereignty is for them. I don't have to agree with it. As long as their ideas about what sovereignty is, self-sovereignty is for them, does not impede upon my self-sovereignty, we can ride. We can ride. As long as what you believe about sovereignty and what sovereignty means for you does not invade the space, does not dishonor the sovereignty of others, we can get to business. We can work it out. We can work it out. But I want y'all to get out of y'all head now and forever. This bullshitting ass, love tropes that have been used to hog tie, to subdue, to make light of, to erase, to quiet, to make comfortable all the ails of the planet. As soon as you want to make a struggle against injustice, a motherfucker trying to shut you up. I love everybody. That is bullshit. And you saying that is a way to attempt to quiet righteous justice and righteous outrage. You lying. You a liar. I don't see color. You definitely lying, and you don't give a damn about my sovereignty. Fuck you very much. We all bleed red. It does not matter what blood oozes out of our bodies. If the political weapon exists, first of all, that was given birth to, but continues to wreak havoc on the planet, on the hearts, on the minds, on the consciousness, on the spirit of human beings. You understand? So stop trying to erase people's suffering by just silencing them. If you want to erase people's suffering, honor their sovereignty. In the real world, for real. For real. Now, let me read some of these comments before I go on. In the Trolls movie, the one troll who said namaste all the time was the one who sold out all the trolls and didn't even feel bad about it. Come on, Letitia. Come on, Letitia. That's what I'm talking about. I would rather you don't say a word. That's what I was going to talk about today when I did the headline. Stop calling Black justice violence. So I'm going to table that for tomorrow. But what you said is part of what I'm talking about. For that. If you cannot say a word or everything that comes out of your mouth dishonors my sovereignty, just be quiet. Just don't talk. Just don't talk. My homegirl Dr. today said, I wish people would realize shutting the fuck up is free. Don't cost you nothing. Just shut the fuck up. Just don't talk. If you ain't got shit to say, just that is not beneficial to the whole, that's beneficial, just don't talk. Just don't say shit. You keep your opinion to your motherfucking self. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So I want to reiterate something that I have many times. Let's see. Tanya Wise says you can say that again. Every day our cells regenerate. Yes, ma'am. I want to reiterate something. So let's see. I have to go, but I'm loving this and can't wait to listen tomorrow. Good night, Earth family. All right, sis. So let me just tell you, I did a workshop. I was like maybe 7 weeks, called Our Healing in Our Own Hands or something to that effect. And it was me teaching through specifically the perspective of 5 elements theory, which is what I love the most about Chinese medicine. There are different schools of thought. The school of thought that I most resonate with is 5 elements theory. So I did this workshop for 7 weeks. I think Oshalami attended a couple of those workshops. Obasi attended every single one because he a rider like that. Who else is on here? I don't think anybody else attended. But anyway, I don't even think I've posted those yet. But and so each week was a different topic that we discussed based on 5 elements theory. One of the topics is my most favorite topic, is the mysteries and magic of the lower palace. And traditional Chinese medicine, the lower palace is the uterus, right? And so the lower palace is considered one of the extraordinary vessels, right? And it's extraordinary because unlike your major organs, its functions are extremely different than your primary organs. Your let's see, it's 5, your 12 primary organs. Okay, it's different than your 12 primary organs. And so any organ so I think it's 8 extraordinary vessels. Let me not lie, child. I'm getting back into theory. I just practice. Sometimes I got to go back and revisit the theory. Hold on. I think it's 8 extraordinary vessels. Let's see. Anyway, the uterus is considered the most important of the 8 extraordinary vessels. And its functions are, yes, the 8 extraordinary vessels. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The 8 extraordinary vessels. Command points. I guess I don't really have to tell y'all all about that because I am just talking about the uterus, the lower jowl. The lower jowl means the lower burner, or the lower palace. Excuse me, the lower palace. 5 zone. Anyway, yeah. Okay. So anyway, the uterus, child. Let me tell you about the uterus. That and I'm gonna tell you is my position that the knowledge in the West of the extraordinary significance of because listen, it was under Nixon's administration that Chinese medicine was allowed to, come into the United States as a legitimate practice. And there were several Chinese practitioners brought to the United States to establish schools in the US in the 70s under Nixon's administration. This information, and so giving you a little bit of history lesson, I swear I'm coming to the point. Giving you a little bit of history lesson. Under the Chinese Communist Party, Mao Zedong, the medicine, the whole medical system of China was transformed because of the Chinese Cultural Revolution. Okay. Hey, Carlotta. So this is probably going to be a discussion for a whole nother day, but I'll tell you briefly. Because of the influence and the position of the Chinese Communist Party, especially the Chinese Cultural Revolution, the whole system of medicine was radically transformed because Mao, like many others around the world who had accepted that the only way to make a successful struggle against capital or capitalism in their nations or in their countries or anti-colonial struggles was to adopt the philosophy coming out of the Soviet Union, i.e. Socialist ideology of Marx and Lenin and Stalin. Okay. So China was not exempt from this. And so one of the biggest things that happened throughout the colonies and within the Chinese revolutionary movement was this kind of narrow pigeonhole type way where, Marx will go down in history. Probably his most infamous quote ever is religion is the opiate of the masses, which is a misnomer. It's a misquote, if you will, of what Marx said about religion. But people became hogtied to this philosophy. People whose social worldview did not have these people didn't have the same experience to their spiritual traditions that the Russians had to the history of religion, particularly the Roman Catholic Church, Catholicism in Europe. Their relationship was not the same as people like in China who might have been Buddhists or whatever. Their social relationship to spirituality was different. All these Africans and indigenous people in the Western Hemisphere and all these Africans on the continent, our relationship to spirituality was not the same as these really exploitative, punitive relationships in Europe under Catholicism. So for white people in Russia to say, religion is the opiate of the masses, and point to the collusion between the state, the nobility, the state, the nobility, and the church, and these collusive relationships to all come together to oppress the poor peasantry of Europe. That's a real statement. That's not necessarily the relationship that Asian people had to like Buddhism and Hinduism and whatever. There's some similarities, but nowhere near the kind of catastrophic results that you saw in Europe during, the Dark Ages and the Inquisition and all of this shit, right? So Mao was like, look, you know what I'm saying? We're going to take power, and we want to, his thing was, we want to do away with all things that are spooky, that are spiritual, that are not scientific. If they ain't scientific, and the whole time I was in the party, that's all everybody kept talking about. The problem with philosophical dualism, that's not scientific, and all this kind of shit. Dialectical materialism, historical dialectical materialism, all this, that's fine. I love it. I love it, but in its proper context. So he hyper imposes this philosophy of white people in Russia struggling against capital in Europe, and superimposes it on the conditions of people in China. So the medicine changed radically, because his position is, I want Chinese medicine to be on par in terms of its respect as with Western medicine. I want it to be ultra scientific. Anything even remotely spooky or poetry sounding, scratch that off the books. They burnt books and collections of research and material that were thousands of years old, a few thousand years old. The medicinal system transformed from classical Chinese medicine to traditional Chinese medicine. Whenever you hear about the classics versus traditional, that's when it happened. Mao Zedong was responsible for transforming the entire medical system of China from classical Chinese medicine to traditional Chinese medicine. So just so you know, whenever you hear that TCM or traditional Chinese medicine, that's Mao Zedong. He did that. Okay. The reason I'm bringing it up is because when we talk about the lower jiao, and that's why I loved 5 Elements so much, because 5 Elements theory really kept a lot of the philosophies of the classics in its execution, in its diagnosis, in its practice. Right, all the shit that Mao was calling witchy or spiritually unscientific, that he removed from the classics. 5 Elements kept a lot of that, and that's why I really resonate with 5 Elements theory. Let's see, Monet Russia popularized ballet and massage, while China brought the popularized Eastern medicine in the States. So anyway, when this transformation in the medicine occurred, it happened in a way that was, because you can't look at things dogmatically. That's why I love this medicine. When I was learning about Chinese medicine in medical school, and I'm hearing from Chinese professors who were young doctors, 23, 24 years old, during the height of the Chinese revolutionary movement, and could experience in real time this radical transforming of the medicine, and the reason that it happened was political and spiritual. You understand? That it wasn't myopic. The entire system of medicine changed based on spiritual influences and political influences and economic influences and social influences, transformed the entire face of the medicine, how the medicine is practiced to this day. And so the interesting thing, I just had a patient yesterday, and I'm talking to her. She's an elder. She was up in age, really up in age. And I'm talking to her yesterday, and I'm like, because we have short-term memory, or we don't have the ability to like piece together history and the present and the future, some things escape us. But what's interesting is here we are, let's see, 40, 50, almost 60 years later, 50 years later, since Chinese medicine was brought to the United States. And we can see, at least I can, because I know what I'm looking at. I can see the negative influence of what happened in China during the communist revolution with the transformation of the medicine politically. Because and I hear it all the time from a lot of people. I don't use Chinese medicine. I don't use acupuncture because it's just like Western medicine. But instead of pills, it's just needles in, needles out, and they send you on your way. I hear this a lot, where acupuncturists are practicing like medical doctors. It's all about the numbers. How many people I can squeeze into my office in one day? How many people I can treat on the table in 1 week? Needles in, needles out, go on about your life, right? And I believe that is a political question. It's a social question. It's a disconnect from the essence of the medicine. I'm going off, but I'm bringing it back to the point. The philosophy, the philosophy of Chinese medicine, especially as it deals with the extraordinary vessels, the extraordinary yang, if the extraordinary food organ, excuse me. Like I said, I got to go back into this theory. But it's the extraordinary food, right? Which is the gallbladder, the brain itself, the brain matter, the uterus. What's the other ones? I don't even remember, Chad. But the uterus, baby, is a receiving organ, meaning that it receives semen. It is a holding organ, meaning it houses a potential baby, a potential human. It releases menstrual blood. And in some of those who are, well acquainted with their anatomy, it releases ejaculate, right? So this is a really magnanimous organ that the West. The reason I got onto that whole tangent is because when Chinese medicine came to the United States, Chinese medicine has been in this country since the 70s. It is the singular system of alternative medicine that is licensable in almost every state in the union. I think it's only 3, maybe 4 states that don't have a licensure board where you can't get a license to practice. It is only one of 3 types of alternative medicine where you can get a license to practice medicine with the licensure board, a state licensure board, right? It is the most researched system of alternative medicine on earth. I think the last number that I heard, which was a few years ago, the World Health Organization has about 250,000 peer-reviewed articles on the efficacy of Chinese medicine. It's the singularly most researched system of alternative medicine. It is the longest uninterrupted system of medicine on earth. And when I say uninterrupted, I mean into those systems of medicine that we still have access to, but at some juncture in history had been greatly interrupted and therefore transformed, or even even halted in its evolution by colonization, by imperial domination, and by colonization. The Chinese medicine is the only longest standing, documented, uninterrupted system of medicine on earth. Why am I telling you this? Because if it's as researched as it is, if it's consistent as it is, and it came to the United States under the Nixon administration, don't you think these people research how they can use it the way they use everything? To hurt instead of harm, to manipulate, to disempower? I'm convinced of it. Because every time I hear stories of, 24, 25-year-old women being told that they have to have partial or complete hysterectomies for non-cancerous conditions and they black skin or brown skin, I'm like, they know the significance of this organ. They know the extraordinary spiritual and medical significance of this organ. And it's always been their go-to, not just recently with women, is if we, because they think all of our reproductive organs are pretty much, auxiliary organs that we can keep or not keep. If, because what's the dude name? I forget his name. The so-called father of gynecology, cutting out and operating on surgically the uteruses and reproductive organs of enslaved women without anesthesia. This diabolical tyrant. Any other time in history, we'd call him exactly what he is, not the father of gynecology, a freaking megalomaniac, sadistic ass who found an opportunity to terrorize and torture human beings and then still go down in history as some kind of acclaimed genius in the field of gynecology. You understand what I'm saying? They know the significance of the uterus. And that's why there has been a 100-year attempt to reduce its significance, to tell women as often as they can. I mean, that's what what do they call that in Mississippi? In Mississippi, they called it the Mississippi appendectomy. It was regular practice for you to go in for some other surgery and the doctor to take your reproductive organs on GP while you was under anesthesia, and you not know it until you trying to have a baby and can't figure out why you can't get pregnant. That's what happened to Fannie Lou Hamer. That's what happened to Fannie Lou Hamer when she was a teenager. She went in for something completely unrelated. I think it was like it was an appendectomy. She went in to have her appendix removed. And the only reason she found out that her reproductives were taken was, Fannie Lou Hamer was a sharecropper. And the only reason she found out that her reproductive organs were taken was she heard the white people, one of her family members heard the white woman who sent her to that, who suggested that surgeon to her, her and her husband at the dinner table talking about what the doctor had told them, that he took her reproductive organs. She needed to have no kids, no way. She was 14 when her reproductive organs were taken from her. So her and her husband never had children. You understand? And then in Mississippi, that was the line. It was like, look, you don't just go having no surgery. You don't just go. That's why people would not go to the doctor, even if they were in dire straits, because they did not trust them. I just read recently, there's like 144,000 women suing the states of Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi for 30 years of forcibly taking women's reproductive organs, forcefully sterilizing women. Class action suit. Perfect timing to speak on this, considering that Henrietta Lacks's family was finally able to get compensated for her cells being taken. Absolutely, yes. This is a serious issue. And I ain't trying to be glum on Female Orgasm Day, but we have to know where our power lies and why it's always under assault. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to do the whole presentation here, but when I tell you I did a whole workshop on the mysteries and magic of the lower palace, I am going to post it so you can watch it if you're interested. If you ain't going to watch it, I ain't going to post it because people paid for that workshop. I'm not getting paid. You feel me? And thousands of hours. I'm $256,000 in student loan debt. I went to medical school for 9.5 motherfucking years. You understand? So my ability to research and do this shit is not because I'm just cute and I'm slick out the mouth. Like, this is research. This is time that I've spent out of my life to do these videos. You feel me? And that workshop is lecture grade workshop that I did with slideshows and research. But anyway, it's called Mysteries and Magic of the Lower Palace. We have to know this. Why is it that statistics can say, why would we need to have a Female Orgasm Day in the first motherfucking place? Why wouldn't a National Orgasm Day be enough? Because the average age that a woman admits that she has had an orgasm with the help of a partner is 26 in this country. 26 years old. I'm guilty of it. I have a whole baby and a year-long relationship to show and never had an orgasm. The father of my child, I was with him for a year and a half. Not once, not ever did I have an orgasm with that man, and I had a whole baby to show for it. You feel me? It's not uncommon. Because women tell themselves dumbass shit like, well, I don't have to have an orgasm to like really enjoy sex. I can have good sex without an orgasm. You ain't never had one, and that's why you can say that dumbass shit. I had not had one before the father of my child, so I liked the heavy petting and the foreplay and shit. It was nice to be touched on and shit. I didn't know until the first time I had an orgasm that I've been duped for a year and a half. That I've been duped. We say that shit all the time. One of my family members, I won't say which one of my family members told me years later, she was like, I was 2 marriages and 2 children in before I had my first orgasm. 2 marriages and 2 children in before she had her first orgasm. Then if you grew up hardcore Southern Baptist like I did, even if you did it, you could never admit that you masturbated. I told y'all before, when I was a kid, because I was a so-called Christian, I remember like yesterday, baby, I would masturbate, but I would stop right before I had an orgasm, because in my mind at 10, 11, 12, I'm thinking if I don't, quote, go all the way, then it's not as bad. This is the thinking of a baby. You understand? I remember cutting off my orgasm every single time for years and years and years and years and years, because somehow if I didn't go to that point that I felt myself getting to, of course, I didn't know it was an orgasm. I just remember when it started feeling like that, I would stop. Right? Fast forward 30 years, I'm in freaking medical school, and my 72-year-old Chinese medicine professor is telling us that if women get turned on, get sexually stimulated, and do not completely act with an orgasm, that it can cause cysts, fibroids, tumors, and cancer. Holla if you heard. Holla if you heard what I just said. Holla if you heard. Because I ain't going on until you say you heard. I ain't going on until you say you heard. Okay, Tanya, I see you, boo. My name. Okay. That's it? Y'all the only 2 heard? Okay, Letitia. Now let me tell you again what he said. He said, this thing you guys in the West call blue balls, this is a myth. That's what he started off saying. This is a myth. Blue balls is a myth. That's what he said. That's what the 72-year-old Chinese man told me. This is a myth. Blue balls. But what he did say was there is a thing that exists in women that is the equivalent of blue balls. That if you stimulate a woman, if you get a woman aroused, if you get a woman turned on, and you have sex and the sexual act is not completed with her having an orgasm, over time, it will cause cysts, fibroids, tumors, and cancer. Why? This is called chi and blood stagnation in the lower palace. To get the juices flowing and then stop before the act is completed with orgasmic release is basically like blunt force trauma. And y'all wondering why women walking around here with an attitude all the time, mad all the time, can't figure out why bitches got an attitude all the time. Y'all hate the idea. It grosses you out to no end because of dumbass menstrual taboos. The idea of making love to a woman while she is on her cycle, repulses you to no end. Sexual intercourse for women during their menstrual cycle. This is science that I am talking to you about. This is research that I am talking to you about. Okay? Has been shown to eliminate almost all of what we call PMS, premenstrual syndrome symptoms. But the idea of making love to a woman while she's bleeding, oh my God. Even women, oh my God. Not to mention, so that's the scientific aspect of lovemaking during a woman's menstrual cycle, her dark moon phase. Spiritually, historically, it is a period, lovemaking during menstrual cycle. It is a period where a man is most able to tap into God's power. Oh, but y'all want to have that conversation. You understand? I'm just telling you what it is. Just telling you what it is. And so here we are on Female Orgasm Day. Oh, we got a little less than 10 minutes left. I read long ago it causes congestion. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So this sister, Oshalami, who just made that comment, I read long ago that it causes congestion, is a midwife and a nurse practitioner and an educator for that matter. You understand? This is old wisdom, and these men know it. And that's why they've made such a campaign over the last 40 years of using every excuse under the sun to steal your goddamn reproductive organs. Where does that tissue go? Where your uterus go when they cut it out? You think they just throw it in the garbage? Where do your ovaries go when they steal them from you for non-cancerous conditions? Then let me just read something else to you that's gonna peel y'all wig back. I just thought about this. In this book, The Great Cosmic Mother, Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth, you feel me? One of the things she talks about in here, aside from the fact that the female human, the human female, hear me, the human female is the only organism on the planet who has an organ within her body that exists for the sole purpose of erotic stimulation and release. Only the human female. It doesn't exist in any other animal on the planet, any other creature on the planet where there is an organ that exists for her exclusively for pleasure, that is not tied to reproduction. You understand? But what she says in here is let's see. Where is it? Human culture is marked by strengthening. Okay, let's see. Child, this is what people got mad about last week. You understand? But I mean, like, why be mad? It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And you need to know this. I'm talking to you about all of this because I keep talking to you about how the first assaults on human beings by patriarchy was on women because they were sexually autonomous human beings everywhere on earth. And the only way to seize possession of power is to disempower women, females. That's what they did. Where patriarchy rose its ugly ass head, which was on all 7 continents, by the way, was on all 7 continents. Patriarchy was emerging. Y'all motherfuckers was smelling yourselves. You feel me? Mm-hmm. She said men are not used to. And she said further, there's a discomfort with this. Okay, so she's talking about, let me just read it to you. Can I read it to y'all since we got a few minutes? Let's see. For about 2,000 years of Western history, female sexuality was denied. When it could not be denied, it was all out condemned as evil. The female was seen as divinely designed to be a passive vessel serving reproductive purposes only. In one not too ancient dictionary, the clitoris was defined as a rudimentary organ, while masculinity equaled the cosmic generative force. With Freud, female sexuality was not so much rediscovered as it was pathologized. Freud did that. Freud dismissed the clitoris as an underdeveloped masculine organ and defined original libido as male. Clitoral eroticism was reduced to a perverse neurosis. Even after Masters and Johnson's laboratory studies were published in Human Sexual Response in 1966, their findings were not integrated into psychoanalytical theory. In Mary Jane Sheffrey's research during that period, she found not one work of comparative anatomy that described or even mentioned the deeper lying clitoral structures. Yet every other structure of the human body was described in living detail. Even today, with our relative sophistication of 1987, we are frequently whistled at by magazine headlines that promise breathless articles announcing the discovery of a new spot, a G spot, or an X spot located within the vagina. Within all these new spots exists the old wistful desire to deny the existence of the clitoris as a trigger organ of female orgasm. Why? This is the generalized traditional fear of female sexuality. Further, there is discomfort with the similarity, with the common origin of the female clitoris and the male penis. Women are used to hearing the clitoris described as an underdeveloped penis. Men are not used to thinking of the penis as an overdeveloped clitoris. Okay? Finally, and most seriously, there is a profound psychological and institutional reluctance to face the repercussions of the fact that the female clitoris is the only organ in the human body whose purpose is exclusively that of erotic stimulation and release. What does this mean? It means that for the human female alone, among all Earth's life forms, sexuality and reproduction are not inseparable. It is the male penis, carrier both of semen and sexual response, that is simultaneously procreative and erotic. If we wanted to reduce one of the sexes to a purely reproductive function on the basis of its anatomy, and we don't, it would be the male sex that qualified for such a reduction, not the female, not the human female, baby. And this is the reason, and I told y'all this last week when I was reading to you guys from Oshun Across the Waters, where she was saying that the power of the human female, the human female clitoris, was so well known in the pre-colonial practice of African traditions, particularly those traditions that acknowledge like Oshun, the ancestors, and so on, Ifa, and so on. That in the pre-colonial practice of Ifa, the word that we use to describe the ancestors, like the collective embodiment of the ancestors, Egun or Egungun, was also used to describe the hidden power of the clitoris. That ain't what I said. That's what the books say about the practice of pre-colonial Ifa. That the hidden power of the ancestors and the hidden power of the clitoris, the word was the same to describe this power. Egun. That ain't my opinion. That's what the books say. You feel me? And so here we are a couple thousand years later, a few hundred years later, and so on. And we can't understand why why female genital mutilation is still rampant, not only all over the continent of Africa, but still practiced in Arab nations, in European nations, including the United States of America. Why? You understand? Let's see. That to me is only affirming. It does not bring anger except for women who are subject to this corrupt bullshit. Get mad at the book, not me. That all the time. All the time. You can be mad. Don't make me none. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you get mad, in my estimation, it is still a knee-jerk response that's based on patriarchy. it is not based in patriarchy alone. It is based specifically in the patriarchal deep-seated, deep-rooted hatred of the female body and its potential. That's what you mad about. Be mad about that. Don't be, and then go fight patriarchy. Go fight your own patriarchy in your own head if you are moved in any way that is not empowering by anything that I got to say. Now, I'm going to end this because I love this subject so much, because to me, I mean, it's the basis of why I call the temple of evolutionary emergence. Not just the fact that we are becoming new every day, that we have the potential to be radically new every day, that we should be evolving every day, that evolution isn't this like every now and again, boom, some shit jump off. It is a regular, daily emerging and unfolding. It is a process that happens just like the boiling water that is still, the elements exist there. You know that the boiled water is eventually going to boil, but that's the slow, qualitative process. You feel me? And then that moment when you see the water, it was still, and then it boils, that's the quantitative process. Still the same. It's still ever emerging, ever evolving, ever happening. Yes, that's why the temple of evolutionary emergence. But the other reason the temple of evolutionary emergence is because everybody born with a uterus is walking around with the temple of evolutionary emergence, the first temple of evolutionary emergence, right in her fucking body. That's what she's doing. She's walking around with a goddamn portal in her body that allows the initial evolutionary process, the initial emerging process, to allow a spirit that is calling to her to say, look, I need an experience that only you, your blood, your DNA, and your ancestors can offer me. Can I come through you? And she says, yay or nay, because that's the power of God, is to say, yes, you can have life, or no, you got to try some other motherfucker, or you got to try next go round. You understand? That's why y'all mad about the uteruses. How dare these bitches have the power of life and death right in their bodies, walking around, right? That's why y'all mad about the discussion on pro-life or pro-choice. It's the most bogus, outlandish, ridiculous discussion, argument on earth, and is used to hogtie y'all oversimplified thinking human beings to vote left or right, blue or red, whatever. It's dumb shit. All of y'all are mad and scared to death at the potential of women being sovereign, autonomous human beings. Because that shit will change the game on the whole face of the planet. That's what will change the game. And any way that we can suppress that from happening, let's do that. Let's make everything the issue but the issue. I don't get involved in no goddamn conversations about goddamn pro-life or pro-choice. Because my position for anybody holding a uterus is what the fuck I say. That's my position. Everybody holding a uterus is my position for everybody. But in particular, as the progenitors for the evolutionary process of human beings, as the holders of the radical untapped potential that guarantees our next leap in evolutionary development, uterus carrying human beings, is whatever the fuck we say. All the time, 100% of the time is what the fuck we say. When it comes to this, when it comes to it, our domain is what the fuck we say. That's why I can't have sex with no motherfucker no time soon. God damn it. So on this here day, after I get off this live with y'all, I will commence to making my enjoying how pretty I look today in my ocean yellow. You feel me? With my little pretty matching serpent earrings. You feel me? See those little pretty earrings? With my mirror right next to my bed so I can see myself, giving myself the most radical, the most abundant, the most deeply fulfilling orgasm, or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 before the sun goes down on this day. You understand? That part. They are distractions with the intentions of not producing results. Balls of Bengal. The religious sect in Bengal still upholds the menstrual rights of women. I've heard of them. I've heard of them. Whoop, my little pen came out. But anyway, anybody got anything else to say? So I'm assuming that I have won the position among all of you beautiful humans to and also the last thing is whatever your meditations are, whatever your manifestation meditations are, be sure to go into your orgasm with those. I do it and I say them out loud. I'm not lying. Like, I don't do it the whole time, but like when I feel myself approaching that point, I'm like, listen, this is what I'm calling into this space. This is what I need. You understand? Y'all don't need to know what I need. I know what I need. I know what I desire. I know what my deepest heart's desire is, and I call that shit into space. I have my eyes open when I climax. Do you understand? I am vocal. You understand? I am loud. You understand? Because what did I tell y'all about the uterus? What did I tell y'all about the lower palace? That it is connected to the throat. It is connected to the root of the tongue. You have to be vocal. You have to be loud. It always, and I never understood why it always weirded me out if I had sex with a guy and he was like, shh, be quiet. The fuck? Ew. Then I went to medical school and I was like, oh, that's why I was so fucking weirded out by somebody talking about be quiet while you having sex. The fuck? No. And it makes a difference. I can't climax. I used to, this is some information that's probably too old for some of y'all, but I used to make this joke about how I had a second clitoris in my throat. Y'all remember the movie Deep Throat? Some of y'all too young for that. Some of y'all too prudish for that. But there was a porn back in the 70s called Deep Throat. And the girl couldn't figure out why she couldn't have an orgasm during intercourse. Never. She was so frustrated. She was so depressed. She went to see a psychiatrist. She went to see a medical doctor. She just couldn't figure out why she could not. It didn't matter what she did, whether it was anal or whether it was vaginal, she could not have an orgasm through sexual intercourse. And then the psychiatrist was like, I have an idea, right? And so she starts making out with her psychiatrist or whatever, and he tells her to go down on her, and she's multi-orgasmic when going down on this dude, and she comes to realize, he's like, oh my God, there it is. You have this little clitoris in the back of your throat. That's where your orgasms are going to come from, is giving head, right? Now I'm gonna tell you, even though a lot of women were mad about this movie, I'm the scientist. You feel me? Lo and behold, if you Google right now, images of the cervix and the voice box, they look almost exactly the same. So for me, it's not, I love to give head. I'm not prudish at all. I love to go down. I love to give head. However, the reason I mentioned that is because I always had this sense that if I could not like fully be vocal during intercourse, I could not, my climax was not the same. That's not my imagination. It always fucked me up. Like if some motherfucker was like, shh, be quiet. Or if we're in somebody's house and he got kids or whatever, or I got kids or whatever, and I have to like mute my orgasm, like mute my climax, I could climax, but it was nowhere near as intense. I'm like, what the fuck is up with that? Is that in my head? Come to find out, medical school, who fucking knew? Child, the energy. So scientifically, when you look at images of like, you know, when they put the little freaking scope in the cervix and the voice box looks exactly the same. They look exactly the same, right? However, Chinese medicine already knew that shit 6,000 years ago. That the uterus, a healthy uterus experiencing a healthy amount of sex for whatever your age group is, and they have a general rule of thumb about how many times a week you should have sex for your age group to have healthy kidney energy, right? However, the uterus is connected by the bimale to the heart. The heart, the branches or the roots of the tongue emanate from the heart. That's where this whole idea of the truth of the heart is spoken through the tongue, through the branches of the tongue. Both life and death reside in the tongue because life and death its origin is from the heart, right? So the bimale connects the uterus and the heart through the Ming Men fire, which is connected to your ancestry, up through the heart, which is what the heart dominates. And then the heart governs what? The conscious and unconscious mind. So we can get into a whole nother story about crazy bitch syndrome, how when you fuck with a motherfucker heart and she check the fuck out and go crazy on your ass, y'all did that shit. Don't be calling women crazy when you contributed to the checkout because you fucked with her uterus, which fucked with her heart. And what did I tell you about the heart? Every single solitary psychological, diagnosable psychological disorder is a condition of a wounded, injured heart, whether physically, whether emotionally, or whether spiritually, or whether energetically. The energetic heart, the spiritual heart, the emotional heart, and the physical heart. If you have high blood pressure or atherosclerosis, you're more prone to psychological conditions because the heart governs the subconscious and conscious mind, and every single solitary psychological disorder, diagnosable psychological disorder in Chinese medicine is treated via the heart. This is it. This is it. You understand? Tanya says, as above, so below. Absolutely. 1010%. 1010%. Y'all laughing and shit, but I'm trying to give y'all a word. I'm delivering a word right now. You feel me? Let me see all these comments y'all got on here. Love the outfit and those snake earrings. Thank you for the share and knowledge. Yes. Won't make me say I know the movie. See, we women of a certain age, you feel me? All these young folk on this call, they don't know nothing about that. You feel me? It's weird when males don't say anything. All quiet. You better speak. I know that's right, Letitia. Like, listen, I'll be quick. Like, are you here? Hello? Don't play that shit. Are you participating, child? Listen, you better open your motherfucking eyes, pull my hair, bite my back, some shit. Like, let me know you alive. I ain't coming here to have sex with a corpse. Listen, like, I do not play that shit. And if I got to tell you what to do, that's cool. I ain't above it. This is what I need. You understand? Fucking weirdos. Let's see. So let me tell y'all, Letitia says the tonsils are the ovaries, the uvula is the uterus. Yes. And so I had this whole, I'd probably save it for another day, but I had this whole incident about, it was during the height of COVID. I had gone to Atlanta to do this ceremony and in Atlanta and got sick while I was in ceremony, like seriously sick. It felt like I was swallowing razors. And I got on the plane to come back to LA. And by the time I got off the plane, like 2 hours after I got off the plane in LA, I was in the emergency room. I was in the hospital for 3 days. And so I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. You feel me? I'm like, I ain't never heard nobody talk about no COVID symptoms like this. I go in, they're like, you don't have COVID. I was like, well, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, it literally felt like every time I swallowed, I was swallowing razor blades. I was scared to swallow my own spit. The doctor looks in my motherfucking throat and she's like, oh my God. I was like, what? What you mean? Oh my God. And she says, you have uveitis. And then all the nurses in triage were like, what? They were like, can we see? Because it's so rare, right? But apparently, like, this infection was picking up during COVID. And so all these nurses all of a sudden are crowded around my damn bed to see my swollen freaking uvula. So my uvula, you know, the little punching bag looking thing at the back of your throat, had, in a matter of a couple of hours, had grown so long I was choking on it. I could feel it. Felt like I was choking on a worm or a serpent trying to come out of my throat. And so after, like, I was out of danger, you understand, I was, this is what made me think about it. You talking about the uvula and the tonsils and all that. I had uvulitis, laryngitis, and pharyngitis. All at the same time. I'm like, how the hell? And what the doctor was telling me, this was in 2021. What the doctor was telling me was that she had seen an upsurge in these, they were bacterial infections in the upper respiratory system from people reusing their masks too often before washing them or using new ones. And I had a bad habit where I had cloth mask, and I would, take it. I was only wearing my mask to go into stores. So I would hang my mask over my rear view mirror and then take it off to go into the store or whatever. And I would wash it every 2 or 3 days. And they were saying, you needed to boil and wash your mask if you were using a reusable, when you needed to boil and wash it every day. Well, these little bacteria from you mouth breathing into your damn mask, and then they become mutant bacteria in the heat of the sun. You feel me? It's damp, it's hot. And so they like multiplying in the mask. Then you put the mask back on and you inhale these little mouth bacteria directly. You mouth breathe and you inhale them right into your throat. They get lodged in there, and boom, you got a catastrophic goddamn multiple fucking infection of my freaking uvula was like 1.5 inches long. The little wiggly thing in the back was like 1.5 inches long. It was crazy. And so anyway, while I was in the hospital for 3 days, that's what I was thinking about. Was like, there must be something wrong with my vagina. That's my thinking, because I'm a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? They say the affliction of every medical student is every single solitary disease they read about, they think they have. Like, every time you learn about a new disease, you're like, oh my God, I have that. Right? So we become our own biggest guinea pigs and shit. Anyway, that was my crazy ass thinking, was that if there was something that seriously wrong with my throat, there was something wrong with my fucking vagina. That was my uterus, my reproductive, that was my position. You understand? And it's still my position, especially in this Venus retrograde here on this 8/8 portal, when I'm talking to y'all about the importance of the female orgasm. And I'm telling you, on the same day, I stopped having sex a year ago because I was so offended by my last sexual encounter that I was like, fuck it. Everybody's cut the fuck off. Can't nobody get it. Can't nobody get it. I need a year off from you motherfuckers. I need a year off from y'all. Y'all play too much with women, the seat of women's power. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. And you have me tell it is messed up as shit is in this country right now. I say every woman in this motherfucker need to say no for a year. Oh, we ain't shit. We can't have no rights. Oh, y'all gonna do away with y'all gonna do away with Roe versus Wade. Y'all gonna take what little few rights y'all we done fought for. Y'all gonna do that? Can't nobody get none nowhere. Revisit the movie Chirac. I hated the way it ended because it was that bullshit, but the essence of the movie was jamming. The essence of the movie was jamming. Because y'all don't understand nothing but brute force. Men don't understand nothing but brute force. And for them, the most brutal thing a woman can do is tell that motherfucker no. But if you tell them no, you're going to have to be prepared to defend that shit too, because they out here reckless. They out here reckless. That's another story for another day. I'm telling you guys, the seat of your divine power is right in your body. And I want to say one last thing, and that's where I'm going to stop. For those of you goddesses who, for whatever reason, had to have your reproductive organs removed. For those of you who had to have any of your reproductive organs removed, your ovaries, your uterus, your ovaries or your uterus, or your breast for that matter, I am not talking any less to you than any other person who incarnated with a uterus. You apply. And I want you to recognize, I want you to hear this, because I know so many women who are convinced that their ability to have deeply fulfilling orgasms are hindered by these type of surgeries. They are not. Biologically, they are not. Physiologically, they are not hindered by the loss of these organs. So if that's something if that's a discussion you're interested in having, if you no longer have your reproductive organs, or for those of you who have transitioned into your crone years, you do not have a menstrual cycle anymore, that does not exclude you. You have the ability to have probably more deeply fulfilling orgasms, even as you've transitioned into menopause. You understand? And I will make this statement. Those of you who have transitioned, I know I hear a lot of people, both male and female transitioners, or male to female and female to male transitioners, who, in private will talk about one of their concerns is because of surgery, the side effects of any kind of surgery. They may be desensitized and they're concerned about their ability to climax. You still have the ability to have deeply fulfilling orgasms. So you need to learn how that can happen and how that can be facilitated. And I know ain't no male doctor teaching you that. And that's why so many of these people are frustrated, is because healthcare professionals are not telling them, not teaching them that they can still have deeply gratifying and fulfilling sex lives, even as they've transitioned, or even as they've had surgeries that have had, I'm talking about all people that have had reproductive body parts removed. Deeply physically fulfilling orgasms. Okay. So if that's something you want to talk to me about, if you want to talk to me about anything, if you want to talk to me about buying my shit, you understand? Buy my journals. I got some new stickers on the rise. I still haven't gotten any. I've gotten one request for my Jesus Was Trash 2 stickers, bumper sticker quality. Jesus was trash too. The Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. My Jesus, and they come in a variety of wonderful colors: iridescent blue and matte blue and iridescent green and freaking rainbow colored and shit. Get your one. You understand? I got another series of stickers coming out here too. Yeah, sexual health is very lacking from the medical community. Yes, teach this, Oshalami, is despairing. It is despairing. Wow, Letitia says, wow, I know I've heard people talking about it, but I've never heard anyone experiencing it truly because the symptoms are so. Okay, yes. These are, maybe whatever. Anyway, yeah. I want you all, because orgasms, baby, sexual intercourse, sexual gratification and fulfillment is the glimpse. It is the one free glimpse that we have, into the superhuman, into God's status. If we allow ourselves to be fully free from that shit that's been imposed in our brains. Let's see, Tanya. Okay, cool, Tanya. I see you. Yeah. So anyway, you can email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. 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 Any questions? Any comments? If you need to purchase any of my stuff, I have an Etsy account. That Etsy is at Daughter of the Fates on Etsy. Daughter of the Fates on Etsy. My YouTube channel is at Daughter of the Fates. Like, share, subscribe, my shit. They're never going to monetize me. I just already know it. So I'm going to have to do some shit where y'all give me money directly, because they're never going to monetize my page. I just saw this white girl on this astrologer on YouTube last night talking about how they banned her for 3 months for saying a single cuss word. I was like, oh, it's over. It's over. That's my confirmation. They ain't never gonna monetize my shit. You understand? So I have to figure out more creative ways to continue to deliver the message that I want to deliver and still get these monies, because ain't nobody gonna put commercials on my shit or ads on my shit, or any of that. You understand? They ain't gonna monetize my shit. I use super juicy explicatives way too much for them to monetize my shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to start really contributing to the temple. Probably in the next, let's see, today is Tuesday. I'll probably get on it tonight. Where I attach the temple's checking account to its own stuff. And I still have to do this thing with this website. This website shit has got me beside myself. I'll be honest. You understand? I thought it was going to be easier than it is. And I don't want to do it, truth be told, but we need it. Also, I'm speaking. I think I told you guys you need to sign up for Mighty Networks or something and charge a low monthly fee. Okay, I don't know what that is, but inbox me that, Tanya. Could you send that to me in a message so I can make a note of it, please? I think I told you guys maybe yesterday, day before yesterday, I got invited to speak at Afrofuturism Comic-Con. Did I tell y'all that? In San Diego, my birthday week, I got invited to speak at Afrofuturism Comic-Con. So first of all, anybody that has any cosplay skills, I need an outfit. I want to be Oya, but I want my hair crazy. Like I want rods and wires and shit in my shit. I need an outfit. I need to be Oya's daughter for this thing. Thank you all. And I'm just gonna do what I do. I'm gonna set up a tape on outreach table for the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. So I got to get literature printed up. I got a shit ton of shit to do. I got to get literature printed up and hopefully have a pamphlet by then with like some membership, like membership shit or whatever. But yes, and so what I'm gonna try to do, if y'all know Abasi's on the founding committee. He's going to be out here. I'm going to have him do a live stream of my presentation at Afro Comic Con and a recording of it. So you guys should be able to see it from where you are if you're not here. Also, I'm having a birthday party, my birthday week, September 14th is my birthday. That Thursday, September 14th. I'm having my birthday party at the Bourbon Room. So I know you all are far away. Most of the people on the founding committee are in other states, but it'd be awesome to have y'all here. You understand? Because that whole week is my birthday. I'm going to be in San Diego on the 9th. But that whole week, I'm going to be turned up. And so I would like for y'all to turn up with me. If y'all interested, let's work it out. Let's make a plan. Maybe, get some rooms or whatever. But anyway, I appreciate you all. I'm gonna go for now. Happy Female Orgasm Day. Happy 8/8 portal. Make your dreams big. Make your affirmations big, and dream big for the future too. All right. Good night. See you guys later. This is Cassandra Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates.